Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Xinfin Network, aka XDC. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first and foremost, we are going to be jumping in headfirst on this post from Impul. We are seeing the XDPOS 2.0 upgrade nearing, and this got posted about 4 days ago from XDC Foundation. The Ethereum Merge and the XDC Network's XDPOS 2.0 upgrade are on the horizon. Both innovations represent significant milestones for the entire blockchain industry. And we do see up here, here's a good resource to learn more about the Ethereum network upgrade, as well as, the much faster, much more scalable, and even much more secure, much lower gas fees, KYC masternodes, XDC network upcoming network upgrade, which you always love to see them touting every single efficiency around XDC. But yeah, we did do a discussion on this article, I believe I think that might have been a few videos ago now. I honestly don't remember. There's just so much content and there's just so much information that we have gone over in just the last couple of days alone, because there's just been like news article after news article around CBDCs, digitization. It's insane. But this is talking about two major blockchain network upgrades, now Ethereum 2.0 and XDC Network XDPOS 2.0. Obviously, you guys are all up to date on the Ethereum merge. The XDPOS 2.0 upgrade down here will be implemented in the first quarter of 2023. So when we talk about that, first off, I think that timeline is perfect. First off, we've talked about how 2023 could very well be the start of the new bull run. So I think that upgrades during that time, I think that a lot of time being built during this time as well is very beneficial for a lot of these networks, specifically XDC. When we look at Xinfin and what they are doing, I think XDC is going to start to really kind of wake up a little bit going into 2023, or at least we could hope so. But we've also been seeing a lot of updates around the trade finance area as well. We will talk about that in this video, but we do see the XDC network is a longest chain open source network that uses the XDPOS 1.0 protocol. This version of the consensus protocol utilizes a combination of delegated proof of stake and proof of work to validate the transactions and secure the network. Currently, XDPOS 2.0 is in the beta testing phase. Furthermore, the XDC network addresses the scalability difficulties facing the Ethereum blockchain and other leading blockchain platforms. Cheap transactions cost and 2-second transaction confirmation times are made possible by the 108 masternodes that comprises Xinfin delegated proof of stake consensus architecture that powers the XDC network. Innovative techniques like double validation, smart contract staking, and straightforward randomization procedures provide safety, stability, and also a trustless ledger. And there's a lot to really kind of unpack here. They also do talk about BFT protocol down here in regards to like security and stuff like that. There's a lot to unpack here, but we are very excited for this because remember what I've always said about these, networks. They like having that option of upgrading them and really kind of continuously building out the technology is perfect. I've always said that going forward, we will need to see something like this in regards to like innovative technology, because every single day, life is changing, technology is changing. Every single demand point around tech is changing as well. So having a network that is constantly building, that is constantly upgrading, that is the biggest key component here. And I do think that Xinfin definitely should hold a staple point in everyone's portfolio, simply because if you like XDC, or I shouldn't say XDC, if you like XRP, XLM, you should like XDC because of the utility factor here alone. The utility with Xinfin and XDC is something substantial, and it is more kind of centered around, trade finance. When we actually go and look at trade finance as well from ICC United Kingdom, remember what I said about the United Kingdom, keep a close eye out on the United Kingdom. They have been moving very fast, especially with MLETR, but we do see here with only 7 weeks to go, delegates from 95 countries have already registered for our International Trade and Prosperity Week. Spaces are filling up fast for the truly global, timely discussion. Register for your free place now. Now, I wouldn't have brought this up if there wasn't these connections to, one, Anigio, but also even Moneta Go. If you guys remember from the recent Porto conference, these were two major names on there. And I do believe that Initio is like the biggest key here, and we actually do see even Utility Theory posting this down here. We actually have this open up over in a new tab. Paper and digital documents will coexist. The upgraded paper equivalent is DDocs built on DLT. Now again, do we have the full-on confirmation that Xinfin will be the DLT for, something like this? Not exactly, but we do have the confirmation that Xinfin is the only DLT actually working within trade finance, and you can kind of see how all of this will work. It is leveraging DLT, technology, and we even do see over here from Michael Crypto 1. This is talking about the ITFA DDoC components. You can kind of see the whole breakdown here, and you do see under digital notary, which is public DLT as notary service, tracking, transparency, no business data, interface with other chains, e.g. R3 and XDC network. Funny thing about this is, again, when you have R3 there, we already know going back to Impel, that is a bridge to R3 from Xinfin anyway. So at the end of the day, under the notary service, like the digital notary service for this, lies XDC with Xinfin. I mean, it really is something special if you think about it, because, although, people kind of write off trade finance, it is a very large market. And if we could have this type of demand where we are kind of sitting right next to R3, which, we know that there's been a lot of discussions around a partnership with R3, more so kind of talking about the DTCC, this could be big. This could be a monumental moment in time, for Xinfin and XDC. We actually do see here, innovation and transformation in security settlement. And it is DTCC with R3. And then down here, you do see a little bit of a screenshot from Quartercon's website. And this is talking about the Quarter Network Bridge, aka that DSL, with Xinfin at the center point. And this is going to be connected to pretty much everything, which is something special to say the least. But again, it just doesn't give me enough insights to, fully confirm that, hey, DTCC is going to 100% utilize XDC, for example. But I will say this. Every single time that I do see DLT come up, all I ever think about is XDC, especially around trade finance. There's a ton of, DLTs in the space. I mean, basically this entire space is a DLT, if you will. But the ones that are efficient, that are carbon neutral or carbon negative or even sustainable in general, those are the big players. The ones that are cheap, the ones that are fast, scalable, all of that ties into one, and it does open the door for a lot more adoption. And we even do see Crypto KJ2 responding down here. I actually have this open up in a new tab as well. And this is in 2018, Xinfin and TradeFinex present at Blockchain for Finance Conference Boston. Barclays and the DTCC share the stage with them. And then down here, Chris Neal presents to Philadelphia Association for Financial Professionals and says smart contracts are being experimented with by the DTCC and Barclays. It does not say specifically they are using XDC. Still interesting. And by the way, this goes back to March of 2021. And success takes time. These types of meetings don't, always yield results, but oftentimes they do. People in finance know about XDC, TradeFinex, and Xinfin, as well as even TradeTech at this point now. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of connections here. I'm not gonna lie. Do I think that this is something pretty big? It could very well be if they do choose, Xinfin, and you guys do see all of the major players behind this BFC 2018 conference, which we talked about in the past as well. But the reason why everyone is kind of focused on the DTCC is simply because of the payments flow. This is a company that is doing, trillions of dollars a day. We even do see down here, for more than 45 years, DTCC and its family of companies have served, as the premier post-trade market infrastructure in the industry, advancing the automation, centralization, standardization, and streamlining of process critical to the market safety and soundness. Today, we stand at the center of global trading activity, processing trillions of dollars of security transactions on a daily basis. So when we really kind of look at this, it would be huge to have Xinfin really kind of be a solution here. And why would Xinfin be utilized at all here? Well, we do see down here our goal is to drive positive change, user-owned. We leverage our unique market position to anticipate the market's future needs and respond with solutions at lower cost, which we know Xinfin does, improve efficiency, again, and bring stability, and also certainty to the industry we serve, which basically we are hitting the nail right on the head on every single one of these. So again, when we really kind of look at this, it is something special. The way that I look at Xinfin being utilized, or I should say XDC as a token, is it's providing liquidity to the traded token, which will essentially be backed by trade finance. So I would argue that Xinfin, or I shouldn't say Xinfin, XDC is the liquidity for the traded token that is going to be backing the trade finance sector, which again is a very large sector. I think it's like $19 trillion at this point now, which, some could argue that it is a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, this goes on, to a whole plan on about, what they are going to be doing with it. Like, Traded Token aims to make trade finance available to everyone, specifically around the SMEs, because the SMEs have a lot of issues trying to get into these markets. They have a lot of barrier to success as well. And when we look at this, it is really all about liquidity. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did talk to you guys about a few documents with XDC and even XRP as well, where we were talking about how liquidity is the key. Here is an article from, I'm going to try to pronounce it. Tell me if I butcher it, guys. Mizuho, I'm going to just say Mizuho. I'm probably butchering it, but trade finance, it's all about liquidity. And again, when we look at liquidity, like, this is the biggest key to not only provide a lot of insights and actually streamline the efficiencies around some of these markets, but it also reduces risk. It helps improve a lot of key metrics, as you guys do see up here of them saying. It really is just like the thing that makes everything kind of run. And I mean, when we really kind of look at liquidity globally, there's a big issue. In fact, I actually have this article open over here, and this is talking about trade finance, and is there currently a trade finance problem? Which, I mean, from a bird's eye view, yeah, sure, you could argue that there's so many issues with trade finance, from liquidity standards to, barriers to adoption. There's so much here. But down here, this is the one that I want to focus on, because this is from the ICC. Moreover, a particular concern expressed by some business groups, ICC 2020, is that the shortage of trade finance could constrain the economic recovery by hindering the efforts of companies to re-engage in exports. This is particularly important as countries recover at different paces, and access to global demand could be important in helping firms and countries to reignite economic activity. Now, a lot of this is kind of centered around liquidity as well. For example, as commercial lenders perceive increased risk and or higher liquidity costs, they typically start to limit their overall exposure, thereby affecting the availability of trade finance. Therefore, it is also likely that gaps in trade financing, especially for the ST, are beginning to emerge. So that gap, that $1.8 trillion gap that we've been talking about for a very long time now, that's going to rise significantly. At the end of the day, this is a market, this is a sector, I should say, that is hemorrhaging. It is hemorrhaging a lot of issues. There's a lot of money being hemorrhaged out of it. At the end of the day, it needs a fix. And it doesn't need a fix next year, next month, whatever. It needs it now, today. But the issue here is there's a lot of problems that arise when you want to, how should I say it? There's a lot of issues that arise when you want to incorporate something like Xinfin or even the traded token. Like, for an example up here, while the recent downward trend might be attributed to the efforts of central banks that are injecting liquidity into the markets, the sudden spike in spreads over the March-April period indicates that the interbank market severely tightened due to the market uncertainty caused by the crisis. Again, this liquidity, how do they inject this liquidity if there is none? There's a liquidity crisis going on globally. They need something like the traded token that is backed by XDC, that is backing trade finance. This would be astronomical in regards to the value unlocked by XDC, but the utility behind XDC. The volume on XDC as well would be substantial. Remember, a lot of people thought that this was terrible. Why would they go after a stablecoin? A stablecoin provides these major players to de-risk, but XDC still will be utilized as a liquidity source for this. This is huge, and I've always said it since day one. You really need to focus on what Xinfin is providing these major players with XDC. It's all for liquidity, purposes with settlement. XDC is going to be the settlement token that is providing liquidity to these major central banks, to all of these, major players, SMEs, financial institutions, etc. around trade finance. And remember, this is a $19 trillion market with a $1.8 trillion gap that is going to continuously grow and grow and grow unless we have something that fixes it, and we do. The only issue is that the main barrier to success and adoption is regulatory uncertainty around this market. So once regulations are in place, it's go live for XDC, baby, and you guys already know what happens after that. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.